4, 3, 2, 1. Hooray! Hopefully, okay. Hopefully everything is now currently, oh, I'm not super in focus. Oh, there we go. You may notice some changes around here that we will, talk about here in a second. But what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me for the Pillars of Action. Action. I bet my neighbors are not appreciating this time every week. So good to have you here. You're here with me, the Everyday Dad. We're here to talk about all sorts of exciting stuff today. My normal co-host, the Everyday Mom, is, you may notice, we're doing a little bit more of a medium shot of just me because the Everyday Mom not here today. So we're going to try to do this as a solo show. What's up? I see Steve Carpenter, Rainsword, the Killmonger. That's kind of an angry name. Davis Lovelady, Jose Masalis, Jeff Baker. Whoa, Jeff Baker. Hey, what's up, man? We haven't seen you in a while. Still a little blurry. Okay, we'll try to, let's see if we can. There we go. That's much better. So that's kind of part of the story of today anyway, but I hope everybody's having a fantastic week. Let's just hop into it. So lots of stuff to cover this week. So for the show tonight, we've got a new segment called the Pillars of Creation. So if you would like, so the way I envisioned the Pillars of Creation from the last couple of weeks, since the last live stream, it was, hey, somebody enters, I bring them on, we talk about the channel for like 15 minutes. I don't have time to do that now that I don't have a co-host. So here's what we're going to do. For Pillars of Creation tonight, I'll choose 5 people. So 5 people, go ahead and, I don't know how you're going to get out to me, but 5 people, like, shoot me an @ or something, and we'll just go through, like, we'll check out your channel, we'll see a thumbnail, we'll check out your latest video, and then we'll go through about 30 seconds to a minute. I'll kind of talk about what I would do differently, or maybe you're killing it, and maybe I'll be like, hey, how did you do that? Maybe I think it's pretty good. So Pillars of Creation will come up here in a little bit, so start thinking about how you want to, let's start thinking about who we're going to check out this week, because this is a test bed. We didn't do it last week. We're going to start doing it this week. If there's a huge, explosion of people that want videos, checked out, we can go from there. But anyway, okay, what else? What has happened? I feel like this has been such a busy week. So, lots of things happened this week. Some DJI Mavic Pro 2 photos leaked out, maybe. I mean, that was a pretty exciting picture. I've got some pictures to show you. Nothing, like, too exciting. Probably pictures everybody has seen, but I'm excited to talk about them. Apple released some very exciting products this week. Maybe we'll talk about it here in a second. If Coach CWC is here, this is all your fault. Speaking of which, I need to send out the tweet. To the tweets. Tweet. Your tweet has been posted. Okay, now we've reached out to Twitter. You got to do, like, all this social media stuff that, you normally have a co-host for. And when you're doing this yourself, a little more difficult. So, we're going to talk about drones. We're going to talk about laptops. We've got a camera bag to give away. So, for this one. So, for everybody that entered the giveaway, we'll be doing that here in just a little bit. And so much stuff to talk about. So let's start off. DJI Mavic Pro 2, we've been talking about it for months now. People have been speculating basically since the Mavic Pro came out, I think. And I'm pretty excited to see what we got going on here. So here's the picture of the leaked Mavic 2. Now, that is a huge gimbal. Now, this is a leaked photo. Who knows where it came from, but that is a gigantic camera and sensor. So are they going to basically try to take the Phantom 4 Pro camera and attach it, like duct tape it and glue it and everything onto a Mavic body? I don't know. Looks super exciting. I will probably buy one. After the disappointment of the Parrot Anafi, which apparently I feel crazy now because, like, everybody else seems to love it. And that's fine. We can all have different opinions. Different opinions are what make the world go round. Hold on real quick. I need to see something. If video capture, okay. Because I can see, this is a new camera. Well, not new. This is a different camera that we're live streaming from than we normally do. We're currently live streaming on the GH5 instead of the A7 III. Some news we'll talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, so Mavic Pro 2. Let's see. Let's talk to the comments. Tyson Folger, if you look at the bottom left, you can see another gimbal. Maybe you'll be able to change them. Let's see here. Is there like a double gimbal thing going on there? I mean, it looks like I saw some other pictures of stuff that you could like attach to the top. Now, I don't know. It looks like maybe you could change those things out. I saw another picture of like another totally different camera on it. You know, there's been some speculation on whose hands are in there. You know, we'll have to see. But I'm not necessarily. I like talking about the specs. I like being excited about the specs. But what I'm really I just want to know how usable it is. If it's a good usable camera, 1-inch sensor lets you do a whole lot more stuff. But so here's the thing about drones, right? What does a bigger sensor really get you? So this camera has a micro four thirds sensor. This camera has a full frame sensor. What do the difference? So for those that really don't know a lot about cameras, the sensor on the camera that I'm currently filming on is half the size as the sensor on this camera. This sensor is gigantic. But what does that really buy you in a camera? It lets you do a few things, like you can let more light in, so you can get a better low light performance. You can get a shallower depth of field if you want to, but like a 1-inch sensor is not going to be getting that. You're not going to get very much like in a shallow depth of field. So does a 1-inch sensor, is it really exciting? I mean, if they can get a flying RX100 Mark V, that is pretty exciting, because the RX100 Mark V, basically it's the same camera. The sensor inside of the RX100 Mark V is basically the same sensor inside of the Phantom 4 Pro. And if they can get that in a Mavic Pro 2, I will 100% buy one. But it's got to, so they've got to, you know, dance on this line of, you know, I'm excited for the Mavic Pro 2 to, you know, have all the great sensor and all that stuff. But if it's too big to fit in my camera bag, I won't be taking it with me. Like I get that it won't be the size of the Mavic Air. It'll probably be a little bigger than the Mavic Air. So I'm willing to give up some of my camera bag space for that. But man, it would be so much nicer if they could keep it around the same size as the Mavic Pro. Because I think the Mavic Pro and the Mavic Pro Platinum, that's about as big of a drone as I want to carry around on a regular basis. So, well, could be so good though. Could be so good though. Okay. So we talked about the DJI Mavic Pro 2. Like I said, there are some leaked photos. Still, you know, DJI canceled their event that was supposed to happen, what, this week? The event was, or last week? The event was supposed to happen. It got pushed back. Nobody knows when it's going to be now. I forgot I was wearing I meant to change out my shirt. So Ready, Set, Drone. This has turned into my new, like, wearing around the house shirt. It's really comfortable. So if you guys don't follow Ready, Set, Drone, his shirts are very comfortable. Forgot I didn't change that out. You're welcome, Kelly. Nice. Okay. So since we are a one-man band, there's not as much, you know, banter between me and my co-host as usual. David D, a larger sensor does not give you a shallower depth of field. No, but it allows you to let more light in. Okay, so I don't have a diagram here, but the bigger the sensor does not necessarily just give you a shallower depth of field. But what it does do is allow you to have more, it allows you to get more of the, I don't want to call them pinpoints of light, but basically when you get an object in focus, the light is reflecting directly at the camera. When you have a shallower depth of field, what that means is you have a smaller part of the image gives you those direct points of light back. The bigger the sensor, the easier it is to send out like not as direct lines of light, which gives you a blurrier background. We're on a fast prime lens right now, so the background is a little blurred because the depth of field is smushed, and we're able to do that because we have a fast lens, and it's easier ways to do that. Does a bigger sensor grant you a shallower depth of field? No, but it makes it far easier to do it. You know, semantics. Okay, Stan Cook, I think they canceled it because Amazon Prime on the 18th. You know, that's a good thought. Jeff Baker, it is not brought to you by Coke Cherry Zero this time. This is just the everyday mom bought me just zero sugar. So it's just the regular zero. It's not the cherry zero. I wish it was the cherry zero. But it's not. Okay, so we talked about DJI. If you guys want to keep talking about DJI, I'm going to try to see the comments from here. I'm going to try to, as you know, normally you would shoot the comments over the Everyday Wife. We'll do our best to keep on each other. Rain Sword, will I buy the Surface Go? If that's a computer, I won't, because I just bought this. Thank you for the perfect segue. So Apple, I almost called them Mac. Apple this week announced and released a brand new set of MacBook Pros, both 13 and 15-inch models. with new upgraded, the newer version or the newest generation of Intel processors that I don't remember what they're called. I'm not a specs guy. Basically, what I needed to have happen was, okay, so this is the new one. This is the new MacBook 15-inch Pro, and this is the 2015 MacBook Pro 13-inch, which is like old. And every time I try to render 4K footage on it, it starts crying. Like, have you ever heard a computer cry? I hear this thing cry all the time because I, do all my footage in 4K, and it like melts a hole through the table of my desk. If you could see my desk right over there, you would see that it like wants to melt through the floor because it just, it cries. It cries, and I sit here and I render the video, and it takes like 45 minutes to render a 5-minute video, and it makes me cry then. So I was like, you know what? I was thinking about buying a MacBook anyway. Then they announced this new version, so I got, this is like the lowest end of the 15-inch Pro. It's the, what is it? It's the i7 something. It doesn't have as much RAM as I'd like, but here's the, so let's talk if we've got some Apple fans out there. I haven't had a chance to play around with this very much. If you want, like, maybe we'll make a video on it for Monday. I don't normally do laptops, or I don't normally do computers, but maybe we'll make a video on this. So here's what upsets me about this right here. Steve Carpenter, $10. Thanks, Gary, for all your great reviews and channel. Well, thanks so much, Steve. I really appreciate it. Thank you. But let's talk some real talk about Apple products. I like Apple products. I have 2 MacBooks. I have an iPhone somewhere. I had an iPhone, I guess. I like, I guess I just like MacBooks. I used to have, I like the AirPods. I love the Apple Watch, but I use a Samsung phone now, so I can't use the Apple Watch. But so here's what, so it's going to be hard for me to recommend this. For one, okay, so I spent the money on this laptop. I think it was $2,400. $2,400 for this laptop for one program. I spent too much, and I'm not trying to like flex or be like, bleh. I was spending an hour rendering a video. It was too much for sustainability, but this, it's so frustrating. If I could get Final Cut Pro X on a Windows machine, I would do it in a heartbeat. So the computer we're currently streaming through is a Dell Inspiron 7577. You can get them refurbished for like $700. It's got the i7 it's got like the high-end i7. It's got the GTX 1060 card. It's got like 32 gigabytes of RAM or 16 gigabytes of RAM. Well, it matches and exceeds the specs of this thing, and it's like 3 years old now. It's like 3 years old now, and it is a third or less. What, a quarter? What's the math? 24 quarter is 60, 700, 714, 600? Yes. So it's almost a quarter. It's a quarter of the cost of this, and it does the exact same thing or better. So I like the product, but dang, that's expensive. I mean, this future-proofs me for a while now, so I can continue doing my 4K footage, and we'll be able to do this. Because like I said, to fund that, I have to get rid of this, the A7 III, which is going to break my heart, but we're going to have to get rid of the A7 III to pay for that huge honking computer. But yeah. But let's talk. Okay, we talked about, I'm trying to keep everything in my head. So let's go to the comments. Let's see what we got. Adam B, I used a PC a long time ago. Then I switched to this small MacBook about a year ago, and I've been using iMovie and then Final Cut Pro since then. Now I just use Final Cut Pro because, I'm an old dog that you can't teach new tricks to. Well, I'm a middle-aged dog that you can't teach new tricks to. Okay, Oklahoma Droner, I just can't make the jump to Apple, and I'm too cheap. Yeah, no, I totally understand it. Don't. I would say if you can learn how to edit on anything else, do that. Don't be like me. Don't fall into the trap that I fell into where now I can only edit on Final Cut Pro X. I've tried. I bought this computer partly to like move my whole thing back to Windows so that I could have reasonably priced equipment, and obviously that fell flat on its face because I really like Final Cut Pro X. I like how quick it is to edit. The only reason I bought this darn laptop was that I could have better Final Cut Pro X performance. And we're going to start, so I'm going to sell both of these other laptops, and we're going to start live streaming through this because this has the specs to live stream. Because if you really want, we're streaming at 1080p, 60 frames per second right now. If you want to do that, you got to have at least an i7 with about 16 gigabytes of RAM. And then if you want to do stuff like game, Macs are not very good at gaming, but if you want to do stuff like stream on Twitch through gaming, I would consider that to be like the bare minimum. But you could get a Windows like spec box like I do, and you could easily stream for that. Easily stream from that. Okay. Peter McKenna, I love your drone videos. Well, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. It's definitely harder to do drone videos now that I live in an area where you can go to jail for flying your drone. So it's it's a little bit harder to fly them because I used to live in an area where it was like the middle of nowhere. I could drive like 20 minutes in one direction and just be in the middle of nowhere, like fly wherever because nobody's there to see. Now I live like in a, hey, you got a drone there? You never see drones here, which is surprising because there's a lot of cool stuff. But it's not surprising because you go to jail if you fly your drone. Carlos Jamalin, shout out. Shout out. Mark Rousey, return the MacBook and keep the A7 III. But if I can't use the footage correctly, what is the point of the camera? So there are a lot of cameras coming out in the near future that I really, really want, like the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. But if my computer can't handle the footage, then what's the point of having the camera? So I very recently picked up a GH5, and the plan was I was going to do a 2-camera setup. The A7 III for stuff that I needed autofocus, the GH5 for everything where I could be behind the camera. But I've really fallen in love with the GH5. Like the GH5 may be one of the best cameras I've had it before. And so I fell into this trap. Of autofocus and bigger sensor. And I think all online content creators eventually struggle with that, where you're like, oh, I need this shallow depth of field, I need the autofocus, I need to do all this stuff, and you chase the blurry background, you chase it. I mean, even now, I'm still going for it. We're on a fast prime, so the camera's like 4 feet away from me because it's the cheap 25mm prime, just to chase after this. But in the last few weeks of making videos, I've been using the GH5 almost exclusively. And it's just darn good. The autofocus is terrible. I cannot put lipstick on that pig. The autofocus is still unusable in my opinion, because it's contrast-based autofocus where it will lock on. So if I had this, I don't have this on autofocus right now. If I had it on autofocus, it would lock onto my face, but you'd still see a warping of the background, especially when you're trying to do a shallow depth of field, because it's always trying to contrast against what it thinks you want in focus and between what it needs to keep out of focus, and it will do that hunting. So you may not see it on the subject, but if you start to see it on the background, you'll never be able to stop seeing it. So I won't use this for autofocus at all. The phone app is actually pretty good. Sometimes you just gotta, and we'll get to pillars of creation here in just a second, but sometimes you gotta, and I was here this week, and this MacBook kind of pushed me over the edge. But I was in the position this week where I was like, what do I actually need out of a camera? And it's an easy pitfall. And this goes for anything, not just cameras, but drones and computers and content creation stuff. What do you actually need? What I thought I needed was autofocus and shallow depth of field. And that's fine if that's what you want. If you need autofocus and shallow depth of field, if you're making like wedding videos, or you're making a documentary or a film, something, I don't know, I don't make any of those. But if you're doing that and you want to be able to, you're telling a story where you're like, oh, check this out, everything's in focus so you can see the people and the story you're trying to tell, and then you're trying to draw focus to one person in that story and you want to keep them in focus, everything blur out, totally get that. Totally get that. The shallow depth of field makes everything look very nice. And I'm not trying to talk bad about that. But do you need a full frame camera for, the shallow depth of field? Do you need that? Maybe you do. I don't. Here's what I need. I need 1080p as fast as I can get it. I need great stabilization, and I would love to have good autofocus, but I'm willing to give up the good autofocus for the rest. So unlimited record time is important for me, because what I'd like to do is start recording these straight in camera instead of recording them through OBS, because OBS is not something I like recording through. So the unlimited recording is what I like. It never overheats. So basically, so here's my workflow. Just so, as this will lead us into Pillars of Creation. So if you want to be featured on Pillars of Creation, if you want me to check out your video, if you want to like see something on that, just let me know. Just do like an @everydaydad, and Rick Halber 199 will only let me send 199. Try more later. Well, thanks so much, Rick. Do an at the Everyday Dad, and like if you can link me your channel, the video you want me to check out, do that, and then we'll go from there. And we'll talk about a little bit about cameras here for a second while I wait for the first one to come in. And I forget what I was talking about. Okay, what I need. So what I want out of a camera is I want something that can do this shot right here. This is what I do my narrative. I guess you could call it A-roll. I do that, you know, right here. I like this. This is exactly what I want. And I was making this shot with the camera like right here because I wanted a wider field of view. Then I decided I don't like how that looks. One of the things when you increase the focal length or you zoom in, you kind of pull the background up. So if you look at the videos like a week or two ago that were shot on the A7 III, you'll see that these pictures back here were like much smaller because it was a wider angle of view. I've been trying to zoom in a little bit to pull these up and blur them out a little bit because that's what I like. So I need a camera to be able to do that. GH5 can do that with a $100 lens, the 25mm 1.7. What else I need out of a camera, since I have very limited space and setting up my tripod, which is you can't see, but it's a huge, heavy tripod. It's great, but when you don't have any room, you can't set it up. So I need stabilization so that I can do my product B-roll shots handheld. I want 1080p at 180 frames per second because combine that with the stabilization and the slow motion, and it looks like a gimbal or a slider shot handheld. That is so good. I cannot, that has cut my production time like not by a third, but like it has taken 30% off of my production time. Like I cannot overstate how important that is. And does it suck that it doesn't have great autofocus? Yes, but that's what I need in a camera. The GH5, I wish I'd gotten one sooner because I do like Panasonic cameras, and the phone app is outrageously good. It is outrageously good. So basically what I do is I'll do whatever with the B-roll that I set this up for the narrative work, and then all I have to do is pop it into Wi-Fi mode, which is so customizable. I just push the button on front, turns in Wi-Fi mode, and then I turn on my phone, Wi-Fi. I sit here, I'm like, beep, focus. It's easy. I don't need the focus because I'm not like, and even if I'm doing this, I can always stop down the aperture and get more of this in focus. And look, the GH5 is amazing. GH5 is amazing. What do we got? Adam B. Good APS-C so you can make good depth of field, but Micro Four Thirds I don't think so. Look, I like APS-C cameras. I like Sony's APS-C cameras. They overheat though, and so I have never gotten over the A6500. So I went to make, it was which was it? It was the GoPro and the gimbal versus the Removu K1 video. And that's the one where I was out with the A6500, and it was such a pain in the butt to get that going just because the screen was unusable outdoors. I mean, I guess that was the big one. That was the big one that I just couldn't see what I necessarily wanted it to do. And I was just like, yeah, I just am not into this. I like the A6300 more than I like the A6500 because of that screen, because of the screen right there. Okay, so let's start talking. Okay, so what do we got? Tyson Folger, you are the first one I've seen. So Tyson Folger, hold on, let's head over to Tyson Folger's YouTube channel. I had YouTube up a second ago, but then this whole thing went up. Can you guys link this stuff in the description, or Folger? I think I'm spelling it right. Tyson Folger, there you are. Okay, hold on. Let me switch over to the view of display. There we go. Tyson Folger. Smith. Hold on, I got to put my headphones in. Got to put the headphones in if I want to be able to hear what we're talking about. Okay. Smithtown Covered Bridge, Hammond River to Smithtown. Okay, so that's a thumbnail looks perfectly good. I mean, that looks like the Smithtown Covered Bridge at the Hammond River. Let's see what we got. So something I want you to think about is, what are you trying to get out of... What are you just trying to make cool videos? That's a cool looking video. We might get this. Okay, so if you guys are using like copyright claimed music. Don't apply for playlist creation right now because we'll get flagged all the heck. Okay, going over the bridge. I like that. Yeah, no, hey, Tyson, so my advice, I guess it just depends on what are you trying to do with your channel. I mean, if I'll check out cool videos all day long if you guys want me to check out some cool if you guys want me to hold on, I'm stuck in my headphones. Becker's reviews. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. Democro make a GH5 versus GH5S. I don't have a GH5S, unfortunately. Okay, hold on. I'm going to make a list. So I saw okay, Tyson Folger, Rainsword, Islands of Fun. Lawrence Arnell, I've never used a moment lens. Maybe I will. Okay, it's copyright free. Hold on, let me Becker's reviews. I see Becker's reviews. And then what else? Oh yeah, hey Rick Halber. Yeah, hey man, how did that go? Hopefully you know, from all of us here, you know, if the everyday mom were here to say it, she would say too. But hey, speedy recovery, man. Speedy recovery. Okay, so these are the 3 that I currently got right now. If you are after these, we'll do 2 more in total, and we'll try to figure out a better way to do this in the future. Okay, so Rainsword. Let's check out Rainsword. Now, I'm not much of a vlogger, but we'll see what we got here. So, hold on. Let me go back to display settings. So, Rainsword Fortnite. Okay, you're playing Fortnite. I'm terrible at Fortnite, by the way. Coach and I, if Coach is still here, Coach and I played it on a Twitch stream once. I'm terrible. Best kill so far in Sniper Shootout. Only this. Okay. I mean, I think you're going to have some trouble. Definitely looks like you're making sniper stuff. One of the problems you're going to have with Fortnite stuff is Fortnite is so saturated right now. Fortnite's so saturated right now, it's going to be hard to, like, you know, break through that. But you're doing much better than I am. I mean, yeah, you're doing way, way better. Normally, I drop in and then get immediately destroyed by anybody. Yeah, no, I mean, it looks good. I guess I can't really speak very intelligently to... I can't speak very intelligently to gaming stuff, but... Yeah, I mean, one of the problems you're going to run into in a situation like that is Fortnite is so oversaturated right now. Everybody is talking about Fortnite, from channels with 1 billion subscribers to channels with, you know, you had 7 subscribers. So it's going to be tough. I'm not saying it's impossible because it happens. I mean, who was it? Jeremy Judkins made a video about, like, playing Fortnite on his phone, and it got, like, 800,000 views. So... you know, it's not impossible. I like what you do. So something that I'm a big fan of is put what your, so whatever your video's about, if it's like about sniper kills, I guess, put that, make sure the thumbnail's about that, your thumbnail was about that. You just might find some trouble breaking through the, you might have some trouble breaking through the Fortnite thing. Okay, so we saw that. Where did we go? Where did I type that at? Check it out. Okay, we did wait, didn't I just do Rainsword? Isn't that who we just did? Yeah. I didn't see a vlog on there, man. But I saw the Fortnite video. Okay, let's see. Who was it? The Everyday Dad. Islands of Fun. Let's check out Islands of Fun. Islands of Fun. That is a very nice logo. Hold on, I got to switch back over. Got to switch back over to the display. This would be so much easier if the Everyday Wife was here. So, testing. I won't check out testing. Islands of Fun, living in the moment. Videos Thursdays and Saturdays. It's always nice to know when people are out. I mean, your videos are kind of... well, hold on. Let's see. Your videos are kind of like a long time ago. Big thing about videos is consistency. So, let's see what we got. Las Cuevas Bay, Trinidad and Tobago for a dip. Islands of Fun. Las Cuevas for dip. Okay. So, one of the things you're going to run into, and I know it's tough with vlogging because we all see vlogs all the time where they're like, they show something that's not involved with this. But if you're going to talk about, you know, you're going to go to Las Cuevas Bay, Trinidad and Tobago for a dip, you probably want to, like, if that's what you're going after, you need to maybe, like, tease that in the beginning, because, you know, we're 40 seconds into the video, and we've only seen your logo, and we've only seen you driving. So I assume if we checked your analytics, you either get like a deep, like a sharp decline, or you get like a very steady decline, because, you know, 50, you know, a minute in and you've just been driving. I mean, it just, again, I'm not an expert vlogger. I'm probably pretty terrible. I vlogged for 46 days straight. I say that a lot because it was terrible, and I would never do it again. But yeah, so those, if that's the title and that's the thumbnail, you got to, like, get after it. Get after it. Okay, and then we had Becker's reviews that we will do. Becker's reviews. Becker's reviews is actually, so he had, like, a genius idea. Normally when you're testing out, this was months ago, but Becker's, I think I'm actually subscribed to you. Reviews. But I need to be subscribed to you. Subscribe. Okay, nope. Pause. Okay, over to the display. Okay, so uploads. Let's see your newest upload. Noise test, Paradinafi versus DJI Spark. So much noise for a tiny drone. DJI Spark, Paradinafi. So one thing about your thumbnails, and I go through this too, as a guy that tries to take pictures of drones and put them in thumbnails. Something that I try to do with my thumbnails. Hold on, let's go back to the main. Can you guys even see me? Not right, maybe not. Oh, so something that I try to do with thumbnails is the picture, like the subject of the thumbnail, is the least important part of the thumbnail. So if you look at, and this is personal opinions, you ask 100 creators what their take on thumbnails is, you get 100 different answers. But what I think about when I think of a thumbnail is, you know, the background, or I don't know, I'm not a photographer, but the background of the photo is more important, because that's what, like, draws the eye. So, you know, you'll see, I don't have anything around here, but if you look at, like, my video from yesterday, yeah, the Canon M50's in it, but, like, the background was shot over here and it was blue, and I made it orange to try to catch your eye. Then you can see what we're talking about. And then, so that's something that I always try to go after, is eye-catching. You know, the subject is not necessarily the most important part. Now, let me put these back in so we can check out your noise test. I can speak more intelligently to, like, tech videos than I can to vlogs. Okay.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel.
Hello, Becker.
Today's test is rather straightforward. Noise level test. Parrots Anafi versus DJI Spark. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take off.
That's a beautiful view you've got there. That's a beautiful view. You're trusting, man. You're trusting flying that thing in your house with no serious sensors. Not a Spark Cloud. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad. I think it's a good video. I think you're getting straight to the point about what you're doing. But I would just say, if you're going to call it a test, maybe, and, you know, hold on, let's go back over here. If you're going to call it a test, maybe like get one of those an audiology, not an audio, you know, a decibel reader, whatever the technical term for a decibel reader is. Maybe get a decibel reader, so when you say, like, test, you're like, people can, like, put a number to it. I find that people, if you call something a test, they really want to see, like, digits and numbers, especially, like, right off the bat. But you're also going to, one of the things you're going to run into trouble with, in my experience, is when you do short videos like that, YouTube sometimes does, I mean, you'll find short videos with millions of views. I don't understand those, but for my channel, if I release a shorter video, sometimes it won't get as much traction as releasing a longer video. So that might be one of the reasons on the lesser views on that one. Lloyd Mendenhall, the Grumpy Vlogger, $4.99. I tried this before, so here it goes again. Well, thanks very much, Lloyd. I really appreciate it. Yeah, a decibel meter, a decilometer, a decibel-ometer, decibel-ometer. Okay, anybody else? Anybody else? I may not have seen it. I saw Rain Sword, Islands of Fun, Becker's reviews. Oh, people can't post links. Okay. Yeah, if you would like to, so maybe we'll formalize the pillars of creation here in the future. But I would like, so here's what I'm trying to do. There's a lot of, I don't necessarily, we've talked about this ad nauseum before where, like, I mean, I can shout somebody out all day long, but if your content's not great, anybody that I get to subscribe to your channel, if you're not getting the audience retention, it won't matter. YouTube won't show that video to those people. So as much as I would love to just shout everybody out and everybody gets like bigger and you reach the milestones you want to reach, I would love to do that. But it's not going to necessarily help. So what I'm trying to do with Pillars of Creation is help people and help you guys like make better videos, because that, if you can make better videos, then everything will kind of snowball on top of itself and from there. So that's what I really want to do. So hopefully we'll be able to, you know, we'll figure out a way to do that, you know, here in the future. Ryan Sondak, I do see. We'll do one more. We'll do two more. We'll do two more. I see Ryan Sondak. If somebody else wants to get checked out on Pillars of Creation today, I'll check out two more. So let's see here. Ryan Sondak. And we'll have to, that's my fault if you guys are getting like Sondak. If you guys are getting come on. If you guys are getting like blocked in the chat, I got to figure out a way that you guys can share your links with me. Okay. Ryan oh, hold on. Display. Best vlog ever. That's a bold statement, my friend. Bold statement. I mean, I like it because it draws the eye. Ryan Sondak, that's you. Season 2.0, vlog number 2. But see, here's the thing.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Ryan here. Welcome to today's video. This is an exciting one because,
like the energy.
First of all, it is the first ever Camera Tip Friday. So at some point in the video,
you gotta hold that camera steady.
That I use in
like,
my videos that
the
maybe
human
you
brain
guys
does
can start
not
using
like shaky
as well.
footage that much.
Also, today is the 4th of July.
4th of July.
So to celebrate that, we're gonna be heading downtown to
so,
a hotel. And,
40 seconds. I like the energy. I like
That's where all of it's taking place. I'll see you when we get there.
Ooh.
Alright guys, editing this vlog now. I realized I did not vlog much while we were at the hotel, but I did film a lot.
I mean,
so
you caught my attention. I'm now watching it.
I
No, I do like it. I like the video, but again, you know, the best vlog I've ever made, I would just like, at the beginning, you got to tell people why they're watching. So if somebody, because that was a pretty cool thumbnail. I like that, you know, telling somebody, hey, this is the best thing ever. That kind of like brings people into it. But the two things, you got to tell somebody like immediately, hey, you know, like this is what this video is about. The best vlog I've ever made. Maybe like at the beginning, be like, here is why this is the best vlog ever. And then go into like your cool cinematic piece. Because I do think those hold people's attention if you can do like cool cinematic stuff. But the shaky cam, you gotta invest in a tripod or something. Like, I don't know what camera you're using for that. Tell me what camera were you using for that if you're still here. If you can tell me. Benny Bag of Donuts, I see yours. We'll check yours out next. But just the shaky footage. So the human brain, so imagine your head, right? As you walk, your brain and your eyes and everything about your human system makes it so that your brain is stable. Shaky cam, there's a reason people don't like shaky cam, and that's why. It makes people like... And yes, there are vloggers out there that don't use like stabilized cameras, like Casey Neistat doesn't use a stabilized camera. Peter McKinnon, they don't use stabilized cameras, but they're able to hold their camera steady enough, or they use image stabilized lenses that they're able to like get away with it. They smooth it out in post. So if you're not going to use a stabilized camera lens, you're going to have to run some post stabilization through it in like Final Cut Pro, because it looked like you were using Final Cut Pro. So yeah, I liked it. I liked the video. You had me watching it there for a second, which is, you know, you caught my attention while I'm trying to like get through other stuff. I don't think you're still here because I don't see you commenting, but yeah, I mean, just like you only have such a short amount of time to catch people's attention on YouTube. It's insane. So all my videos, if you've seen my videos, they start off with, hey, this is what we're talking about. I mean, you clicked on this, the thumbnail, what you clicked on, and the title, it's all like the same thing. And in the first 5 seconds, I say why you're watching the video. And I still lose like 10% of the audience in the first 5 seconds. why did you even click on the video if you didn't want anything to do with everything that is so, like, it's all so tied into each other. So yeah, you only have like, you don't have any time to catch people's attention. Okay, I did tell, what was this, Benny Bag of Donuts. Okay, so if you want to see Pillars of Creation, this will be the last one for the night. We'll do another round of people next Saturday for the live streams, but let's check Benny Bag of Donuts. Benny Bag of Donuts. Okay, welcome to my channel. Okay, let's pop back over to, I need my headphones. Need the headphones. And okay, so live streaming is another place where I wish I had decent autofocus because like I'm moving around and I'm not in focus right now, which is super irritating to me. But we'll have to survive today. Okay, switch over to display. Benny Bag of Donuts live stream. I'm not going to check out a live stream because those are just different. In a Benny Bag of Donuts. Okay, I see that you got some donuts up there. I love donuts. Nerf War first-person shooter. Let's check it out.
Well, so we're gonna do a first-person shooter Nerf.
Yep,
because we can, and
I like it.
Yeah.
You may not want to. So
Yeah,
just
they're
like from a camera user perspective, you may not want to hold it below you. You don't want to look down at the camera.
Finally.
You want the camera to be like at your eye. You want the people watching the video to think that you're like in your eye.
That other one, so.
But again, like 30 seconds
get
into the
some
video,
work,
and
so
we haven't seen the Nerf War first-person shooter. You've said it, but.
Okay, we are almost done setting up all the guns. Got tilted.
It might be like, so when you're talking about like setting up this first-person shooter war, maybe like having the camera
I think we're gonna
see
start
you
the
guys
first-person
set it
shooter,
up
so
would be a little more exciting than. So one of the aspects of video making or filmmaking is, or anything is, you want to show, you don't want to tell. So telling is like the worst, not the worst thing, but it's like the most boring way to get across. Hold on. Let me go back to the chat. So show, don't tell, right? So if I'm talking about, I talk about tech gear, so that's what, my comfort zone is. So if I'm going to say, hey, this camera does something, I would like to show that the camera does it. So if you're going to set up like a first-person Nerf war, and you're not doing first-person Nerf war the whole time, I would say maybe instead of just like talking at the camera, hey, we're setting up the, the Nerf guns, I would have the camera somewhere else showing you guys setting up the Nerf guns and then getting into it. And, you just, like I said, you want to get into the point of the video as... Thanks, Jeff. You want to get into the point of the video like as soon as possible. You don't want to belabor the point because people, like I said, attention spans are so short. So thanks everybody for coming out for Pillars of Creation. We will do this again next Saturday. If you want to be part of it, we'll figure out a better way to get people across. But we've got one final huge thing before we just do like Q&A and hanging out. We got to give away this camera bag. We got to give away this Bravit rucksack. So we were going to give away the Insta361. However, I can't find it. In the movie, I just spilled my Coke Zero. I just spilled my soda. Party foul on my live stream, right? So I was going to give away the Insta361. I found the box for it, but I can't find the camera itself. So instead of giving that away, we will give away the Bravit rucksack. So I have all the entries. So if you would like to, if you don't know how to enter our giveaways we do here, let me pull this up. So the way we do giveaways here is I'll post a picture on Twitter yes, I get a lot of people asking me, why do we do it on Twitter? Well, because if I ask you to put something on like a YouTube video, it'll get lost in like a bunch of other crazy people's comments. It's easy if I say, hey, this is the thing on Twitter, leave your comments there, then I know where they're at, and it's just easy to make sure that everybody enters, gets a fair shake. So you enter on the picture on Twitter, you follow me on Twitter, and you leave a comment on that picture, and then, excuse me, and then from there, at the live stream here, like we're doing right now, I'll go through all the participants, and then we'll do a randomizer between the names, and we'll go from there. So real quick, here is who I am tracking in the giveaway today. Number 1, 2 Minute Tech. Number 2, 51 Drones. Harold Augusto, John Packer Fan, Mark Attardo, Thomas Garrett, Stan Cook, Dapper Dop, Steve Carpenter, NBD Visuals, Yang Chao Lee, Josh Mobley, Brian Parker, Jim Hightower, Aaron Mongley, The Guy, Nikolai Paulson, Ross Thompson, and Ian Blunting. No, there was another one, right? Hold on. I got it. The Everyday Wife was messing with this. The Everyday Mom, I'm sorry, excuse me, was messing with this before she had to leave real quick. So I could have swore we had like 23. So I allowed people to enter late last time, but it kind of turned into a hassle where, like, not that I don't mind that it's a hassle. I just want to make sure that it's fair for everybody. So if you became part of it, then you're part of it. But if you're not in it yet, you're not in it yet. But let's see here. Let me go over here to make sure we got everybody, because I do want to make sure that everybody is. Where is it at? 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 Da, da, da. Sometimes I just sing to myself. Okay, 23. Yeah, there was 23 comments. We missed Jim Hightower, The Guy. Got it. Ross Thompson, Ian Bunting. Oh, okay. I guess those other comments were me commenting back to some people. Okay, so here we go. We've got the phone out, randomizer app, numbers. Dang, we don't have autofocus anymore, so you guys aren't. Okay, how am I going to get? Can you guys see 1 to 19? Can you see that? 1 to 19. Okay, so we got 1 to 19 in, and then we will randomize it. We'll randomize it 5 times just to be fair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, no, why did it just? That's not one of the numbers. Why did it go to 23? No, 1 to. If it wasn't live. If it wasn't a live stream. Okay. How did you give me 20? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 10. Can you guys see that? Number 10. Number 10 is NBD Visuals. Okay, NBD Visuals, are you here? NBD Visuals, are you here? Visuals. NBD Visuals, are you here? Are you here? We'll give you 20 seconds to not comply. I almost said comply because I like the movie RoboCop. And it's like, you have 20 seconds to comply. That was what was the name of that big robot? What was the name of that big, ED-209. ED-209. Okay. All right. 20 seconds is now up. Sorry, NBD Visuals. Number 13, Brian Park. Oh, can you guys see 13? Number 13, Brian Park. Brian Park, are you here? Brian Park, are you? Oh man, I'm doing like. Sometimes you just find out that you're a big dork. Sometimes you just find out that you're a big dork. Brian Park, 20 seconds. I was gonna do the theme song to Jeopardy, but the theme song to Jeopardy. However, comma, I bet that is copyright. I bet that is copyright. Okay, 10 seconds. 10, 9. And vlog. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate the comment. Okay. Next up, number 1. Who is numero uno? 2 Minute Tech. 2 Minute Tech, are you here? 2 Minute Tech. Oh, there's number 1. Why did that go to 14? Oh, it changes when I shake it. It was number 1. Stop changing. 2 Minute Tech. 2 Minute Tech. 2 Minute Tech. 2 Minute Tech. 120 seconds tech. 120. 120. 120. 120. 120. You don't get 120 seconds to wait. You don't get 120 seconds to wait. Okay. Not gonna happen then. 2 Minute Tech. 2 minutes. We'll give you 2, 1. Number 16. The Guy? What? The Guy? Like. The Guy. Caliber Striker? Caliber Striker? Bill Utah. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. I really appreciate you being out there. Out here. Out here. Okay. Yeah. That seems to be the case. But that's why, sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do. So Caliber Striker. Caliber Striker. Okay. All right. We'll eventually figure something out because Jeff Baker's here. Is he in the? He's not in the giveaway either. Somebody's got to be here, right? Somebody's got to be here because I don't want to keep this camera bag. Okay, next up, 10. Oh, we already did 10. 16. We already did 16. 10. What? Stop putting it back there. Harold Augusto. Harold Augusto, are you here? Harold Augusto. Harold Augusto. We did a, so those that are joining asking what we're doing a giveaway. The way that I do my giveaways is I leave a picture of the item that I'm giving away. I put it on, like, my Twitter. I leave the picture. You enter by following me on Twitter and then commenting on that so I know where everybody's at. And then we give it away that way. But it normally works. And it's definitely not. Okay. 15. Aaron Mangielli? Who is actually in here? 51 Drones is not here. Steve Carpenter was here. Okay. Aaron Mangielli. We might have to, like, redo this one. We might have to redo this one. Okay, 19. Ian Bunting. Ian Bunting. Steve Carpenter, you might be the only person that entered that's here. So if we get to 9, you definitely win. You definitely win. Okay, 19. Ian Bunting. Ian Bunting. Ian Bunting. Ian Bunting. Nope, nobody from Ian Bunting. Okay. Number 1, we already tried number 1. Number 5, Mark Attardo. Did we already do Mark Attardo? Mark Attardo, are you here? Mark Attardo, are you here? So it looks like the 2 people that are in the giveaway that are here is Jim Hightower, Steve Carpenter. It's just who will it get down to? Who will it get down to in that amount of time? 18. Ross Thompson. Ross Thompson. Nick Fam TV, $5. Just say Nick Fam TV. LOL. Sorry, I'm way late. Well, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Man, sometimes this is okay. 14. Jim Hightower. Help at home. Whoa, no, it went away. We got to a winner. Number 14, which is Jim Hightower. Are you still here? Jim, please still be here. Jim, please still be here. Jeff, don't even tell me he's not here. He was just here like 10 seconds ago. There we go. Woo! Help at home. Help at home wins the Bravit rucksack. Congratulations, my friend. Your Canon SL2 will fit very well in here. Holy cow. Holy cow. If you enter a giveaway, you should go to the live stream so you can win. All 20 people that were here. Well, congratulations to Jim Hightower for winning the camera bag. We will I'll get with you afterwards and we'll figure out from there. I'll get in touch with you and we'll ship it out. Well, I'm exhausted now. Okay, so that we're at about an hour, but I have not had a chance to really Q&A the chat, talk to everybody. So let's just take some questions. Do you guys have any questions? So the way I do my giveaways, well, we've talked about how I do it, but what do I give away? So companies send me companies send me stuff all the time, and I don't like keeping it because, for 2 reasons. 1, my wife gets angry when the house is full of junk. And 2, if I say that something is good, I like having the check and balance of, somebody could be like, no, dude, this is garbage. At least one person can tell me what's up. Jeff Baker, so I have a question. What's up with Patreon? So I paused Patreon. I turned it off. I think I paused it. I got to make sure. I got to pause it every 30 days. So Patreon, if you don't know, I had a Patreon going, but I had different like reward tiers, but I didn't feel like I was meeting those tiers. We were moving. I didn't have the opportunity I wasn't meeting what I said I was going to meet. And if I wasn't going to do that, I just canceled it because I don't want to falsely take people's, it touches me. Like I am so just in awe that you guys like the content enough to support it. And I'm humbled by that, but I don't want to like not give you the value that I said I would give you. So if I wasn't, then I just was going to cancel it. I may turn it on here in the future. Again, if people want to donate that way, I'll turn it back on. But I'll probably have to get rid of those reward tiers because, like, I just don't. You know, sometimes you find out that you bit off more than you can chew, and I definitely did with that. You know, I can't say it any other way. Like, I wanted to do all of those cool things, and it just, you know, between working full time and doing this, and the channel gets bigger, so you got to invest like more time as the channel gets bigger, and it just, like, even just trying to respond to comments anymore is, I mean, it used to be like 40 comments maybe a day. Now it's like hundreds of comments a day, so I can't do that anymore. And, you know, so I just wanted to say that I do, to everybody that was a patron, I am humbled that you would want to do that. And if you guys still want to do it, maybe I'll turn it back on. But like I said, I'll have to take away those reward tiers just because I don't want you to invest in something that you're not getting. And I'd rather be upfront with you about it. You know, if I can't do something, then, you know, just take your generous investment and then not give you what I say I would give you. So that, Jeff, hopefully that answered your question. That is what happened with Patreon. That is what happened with it. Okay, what is going on? Okay. Does the M3 have a clear outlook for your cam link? What's the M3? I have the M50, or I had it. Okay, so I got rid of the M50. The M50 is amazing. I love that camera, but one of the problems I was having with the M50 is, and I talked about this in the video on Friday, is it couldn't pull double duty. And if I'm going to have two cameras, I need a camera that I can talk at, but then I also need a camera that can, you know, do this while I show another camera. Basically, I'm moving to a one camera setup anyway. Like we mentioned earlier in the stream, I'm selling the A7 III to pay for this new MacBook. But yeah, the M50 did have a clean HDMI out. I think that you got to turn off the autofocus though, because it will put the autofocus box on it. So you got to turn off like face recognition for it, but it can do that. Can do that. Oklahoma Droner patron perks and everyday dad speedo calendar. Probably won't do that. Probably won't do that. That's a good idea. That's funny though. Hold on, I'm gonna come over here because this. Okay, for some reason this computer is not working as much as this computer. So let's see. Rainsword, what's the best value for your money laptop? Like I said earlier, I really like the Dell Inspiron 7577. You can get it for like $700. Has outstanding specs, and I mean it's a huge honking laptop, but it does really good for what you get. Jeff Baker just saw the leaked photo, not liking detachable crap, less flight time. Yeah, it just depends. I mean, I don't know. I want to see what they have before I jump to conclusions about like a leaked photo. I mean, that camera looked, like I was saying earlier, I would love a 1-inch sensor on a travel drone. It would be awesome. But it's not like a requirement of mine. I like cameras that have smaller than 1-inch sensors anyway. Like my cell phone's smaller than 1 inch. My drones are smaller than 1 inch. I think you can do perfectly fine without it, but if I could get one, I would absolutely take one. Rainsword told my dad about your channel. He loves the channel. Who else should I recommend it to? Well, whoever. If somebody that you know that likes drones, action camera, gimbals, and just making videos, that's what we talk about here all the time. Benny Bag of Donuts, what camera should I get? It just depends on what you're. If you're talking about like what camera should you get to deal with your shaky footage problem, you don't. What camera are you using? Like what? Just tell me what camera you're using, and maybe you can do it. Maybe you can figure out a way to work it that way. Kenneth Duke, hey, what's up, man? Dan Dipper, you should buy a DJI Mavic 2. I will absolutely buy a DJI Mavic 2 when it comes out. Oklahoma Dromer, just wonder why you don't use a desktop PC for your office and life shows instead of laptops. I like being able to, so I live kind of a nomadic lifestyle, and I don't like having big computers that, you know, that can't do stuff as I'm traveling. So I tend to move towards laptops instead of desktop PCs for that reason. Back from the Sky, hey, I like you, but your attendance is dropping. Let's change that. Yeah, I mean, they're live streams. They generally go about an hour. Once you pass an hour, that's about as long as you can expect somebody to stay for a live stream. So everybody that's still hanging out, I do really appreciate that. I need to, something I got to get better about on the live stream is keeping to my like schedule, because I don't like missing out on the Q&A, because interacting with you guys is the best part of like live stream. So I tried talking about stuff in the beginning. I try, like, we're going to do the pillars of creation. Maybe we need to just cut out like talking about random stuff in the beginning, because I want to just talk to you guys. Like, that's the whole point of the live stream, is interacting with you guys. Maybe less of a show and more of just like a hangout, because I like just hanging out. The basic pilot, do you use YouTube analytics? If so, what are you most concerned with? I use YouTube analytics all the time. What I am most concerned with is audience retention, because that's where I feel like audience retention is kind of how you tell how good a video is or not. You might get, views and subscribers are not a very good judge of like how something's doing. Something can get a lot of views for like no reason. You have no idea. You have no idea why it got a lot of views, but it did. But you can control the audience retention. That if your audience retention is going up, then you're making better videos, or you're making more engaging videos. Maybe not necessarily the same thing, but I do appreciate. That's what I look for the most. Dennis Lovelady, we're here because we want to hear what you have to say, Gary. Well, thanks. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Back from the sky, you have personality? I hope so. I know Lloyd, the everyday mom, is not here to keep me on point. She's definitely not here to keep me on point. She's generally the one that, like, you said you were going to talk about this, talk about it. Jeff Baker, I did see the Enterprise version. I have it somewhere here. But yeah, that stuff on top. I mean, I wouldn't buy an Enterprise version anyway. I don't do mapping or stuff like that. I just like hanging out. I just like flying stuff. Good lighting today, nice bokeh. I know, but this is not a full frame camera. Man, this is me twisting my mustache. This is a micro 4/3 camera. They can't do bokeh. I'm sorry, I get frustrated at people and camera stuff. Rainsword, do you think hooking up a laptop to a TV is worth it? I have a MacBook Air 2011 hooked up to a 4K screen, but it can only run YouTube at 720. Sure. So I don't really, like, I'm not a computer guy. I'm not really a cell phone guy. I'm fascinated by cameras, and I like drones because they're flying cameras, and I like gimbals because they stabilize cameras, and I like action cameras because they are cameras that I can hopefully not break. But I'm not, that's why I don't call myself like a tech channel, because I don't cover tech. I like talking about video, because I don't know, something about, so those that have watched the channel for a while know that, I started off doing a whole bunch of like random stuff, and eventually I kind of started getting a focus of technology, but I don't really like I may make a video about the MacBook Pro 2018 for Monday, but it's not going to be like it'll be a little bit about the specs, but it's not going to be about, oh, you can do, I don't know. I'm trying to think, but it will be focused on how does this help me and how could it help you make videos? Because I don't know what it is, but I am fascinated by cameras and just using light on a digital sensor to create motion picture. I cannot, I don't know what it is. I love talking about it. I can talk about it all day, and, I do some days. I love it. I love it. I've just been, I grew up crazy poor. Like, we lived, for a few years, we lived in, like, a trailer in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. I grew up, that leads into, when I was in college, I had to work. I didn't get to go out and have fun or with cameras, or I see people in camera clubs. That would be fun. But the thing that really got me into it was I got to my first job. I was still I just had a kid. We still didn't have a lot of money. So I was doing a lot of fun stuff like mountain climbing and getting out there. But I didn't have this was right before cell phones really took off with cameras. And I saw people with GoPros and I was like, oh my, I love the thought of a GoPro. So for some reason for that, just has clicked in my brain where I'm like, I just love making videos. And so that's what I do. That's what I do. Kenneth Duke, love my OXO V50 Pro, by the way. I do. I would like to try that out. OXO, if you want to send, I think they actually emailed me. Maybe I should email them back. Because they sent me the OXO V50, right? They sent me the V50. Maybe I just need to send them an email and they'll send me the Pro. I've got another action camera that I'm checking out here. Hawkeye sent me the SE, the Hawkeye 8 SE that we'll be checking out. So here's a problem that we're running into right now is that people keep sending me stuff that I enjoy. But now I've got a huge backlog and I don't know when to start making videos about it. Like, because we're starting to, like, I've got a huge gimbal that I want to make a video about. I want to do a follow-up video for something else. It's a good problem to have. But dang, it maybe, I don't know. We'll have to figure out how to do that. And then Rick Halber, great show. Well, thanks so much. I do really appreciate it. CJH0614, the camera that we're currently using is a Panasonic Lumix GH5 with the 25mm f1.7 lens, like the cheap lens. Lloyd, I'm totally a camera addict. The only reason I bought a newer computer was so that I could do more stuff with my camera. Like, I love them. Here's the thing that just stinks about, like, being a camera head like this day and age is that cameras are, like, on the decline. You know, cell phones, I say this all the time, cell phones have already killed the low-end consumer market, and they're starting to work their way up. Like, as their cameras get better and better, cell phones are starting to, like, hack away at different sections of the camera market. So hopefully they don't take away, like, the good stuff, or we may, like, you know, the cameras may go away. Who knows? Kenneth Duke, did you ever review the cheap Bang Toys quads? I mean, they've reached out to me to check them out, but I don't, like I said, I like drones because they're flying cameras. I don't really like toy drones that much. I do like the Tello. I've got there's a Xiaomi drone that GearBest sent me that I'm supposed to be making a video about, but I keep forgetting about it. And that's one that I think I can fly in my backyard because it's under the FAA's restriction for all that. So I think if I get arrested and you don't see me for a while, I was wrong. But I don't, like, toy drones are okay. I was thinking about doing, like, a series on building an FPV race quadcopter, but I mean, they look fun. Meh. D. Harlow, did you say what you were replacing the A7 III with? Yeah, the GH5 is what I love. The GH5, if it was an APS-C size sensor, if it had an APS-C size sensor with good autofocus, it would be the perfect camera. I think it's darn close to if they do a GH6 with phase detection autofocus instead of this crappy contrast-based autofocus, that might be the perfect camera ever made. I mean, the GH5 is fantastic. I say this all the time. So here's the thing. Like, all the cameras out these days are fantastic. There's very few, like, actual bad cameras out there. It's just what features do you want. So when I say it's a perfect camera, it's perfect for me and what I want. It may not be perfect for you and what you want. Sorry, we're getting the raspy voice from talking for an hour and 12 minutes straight. But yeah, so the GH5 is the perfect camera for me. Maybe, I mean, you can get them for a great deal, right? Like, I got this one with the 12-60 good lens for very reasonably priced, open box from B&H. And if you get it open box, it's the full manufacturer's warranty. It's basically somebody rented it or something or bought it and opened it, put it back in, returned it. You get the full manufacturer warranty, everything. It's just like $300 cheaper. It's really good. Really good. We are getting. Let's see if I'll answer, like, we'll go for like 5 more minutes and then we'll call it an evening. Brandon, have you reviewed the DJI Phantom 3? I actually have. If you check out, is it a public video? Let's see. So I went through a while ago, and hold on, let's see here. My channel, a few months ago, and like I was saying a couple minutes ago, I have videos that really don't have anything to do with what the channel is about today. So I just, I hid them all. I privated them. But I can't. This is going to take forever to load. But I do have some videos about the Phantom 3 Standard. You'll have to check because it's way long ago. Way, like, maybe more than a year ago. Hold on. Here we go. We're at 8 months now. 10 months. Ooh, we're back in the vlogs. Ooh, the vlogs were terrible. I hated vlog. Yeah, it's not going to let me go back that far. But yeah, I do have some Phantom 3 Standard videos. I do. Jeremiah McIntosh, thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it. My Minayo, sorry, Gary, I have to go. Keep up the good work. Well, thanks very much. I do appreciate it. Back from the sky, can you say, dentist, all that soda? Yikes. I got the teeth. It's a Futurama quote where he's got the only teeth that are strong enough to eat other teeth. That's me. Never had a cavity. Ever. Where's the Everyday Mom at? I hope you're watching, Everyday Mom. She is a dental hygienist that babies her teeth. Lots of cavities. I drink soda and lots of coffee. Never had a cavity. Help at home. We definitely hid the Timmy video. We definitely did it. DeHarlow, yeah, there is no right camera. There's no perfect camera. I mean, I speak in hyperbole. Sometimes you got to speak in hyperbole to get people to get interested in a YouTube video, but you shouldn't, because there is no perfect camera out there. Perfect for me right at this moment is the GH5. It does everything I want, or it does everything that I need, maybe not everything that I want. Okay. CJH, what drone and camera you like the most, and can you make a review the best budget drone and camera? I've done that before. If you check out the channel, there are definitely out there. Oh yeah, and Timmy was definitely a Phantom 3 standard drone. It was the Phantom 3 standard. Okay, everybody. Well, hey, thanks so much for coming out to the Pillars of Action this week. We will catch you next. We'll catch you next week, where we'll continue to do the Pillars of Creation. So if you would like to, have your video, we check it out. We kind of give you some tips on what you can do better. Maybe grow your channel a little more. You can reach out to me and we'll get you featured on here. Maybe we'll set it up. So here's what I'm nervous about. I would like to set it up beforehand, but like we've seen, even when I'm giving away free stuff, not everybody that says they want it shows up. So if you we'll see. But yeah, if you want to do the Pillars of Creation, just let me know next week, and I will see you guys next time for the Pillars. Oh, the everyday kid's probably sleeping, so I won't scream it out that time. But see you guys next week. I was getting ready to close it on this, and you guys are not being streamed on that. You're being streamed over here. So have a fantastic week, everybody.